Bougie was actually first by a millisecond. What a gang. What up, Nate, Bougie, Jay, Big Dogs? What up, Zoom? What up, Darian, Jay, KJ, Mark? I appreciate you guys for pulling up. Yo, can you guys help me take these blue lines off my fucking screen?
So, we just had the same issue actually today. We had it, we tried to have refresh it, we tried to have remove the indicators, and apparently a lot of people have it. So he was able to remove it, so we don't know how. It appears to only be on certain time frames, but I'm looking at mine and I don't have the date. But I'm looking at XAU, not future.
Look, pre and post market price lines. I don't care.
Oh, looks like Bougie was able to get up. He's writing how to help you out, go to settings. Alright, Bougie. Go on. Oh yeah, Wish just wrote, in the settings it says electronic training hours background. Remove that, or unplug it.
It says electronic what?
Electronic training hours background. It's in the clubhouse chat. You put it there. I'm not sure where it is exactly. I guess go through all the stuff on the left, and maybe might find one that says that. He said it was symbols.
Got it.
Symbols.
You just gotta make it black.
Alright. Thanks, everybody.
I don't think my shit was black, was it? Honestly, I was thinking of taking some sells here on the rebreak of that low. What kind of rage is this, bro? Trash. No more highs. No bottom wick here. 15 just closed. No bottom wick. Are we coming down to create a bottom wick first? If so, that's not good. I want a top wick first and then a rejection down for sells. I wanted to take a rebreak of this low. I found it. I got it. What up, Jonathan? How many pips to the highs here? 40? Yeah, I'm gonna have a sell stop here. Go one tick under. EOS? EOS was pretty fire. There's a lot of people there, but they're all dumbasses. Nobody's using the good machines. Upon first impressions. It is, but it's worth it. I mean, I walked right into my machine, no wait time. I walked right into the other machine, no wait time. On my way there, I saw an empty rack. I saw an empty bench. I saw multiple empty benches. Nobody was on the benches. Everybody was using all of the other machines and all of the other fancy stuff. The cool thing is the cold plunge. I didn't go in. We were gonna go into the cold plunge. But it's unisex, and I was gonna go in my underwear, and I didn't want to go in my underwear with a bunch of women there. So next time I'll go in a bathing suit, because all the women and stuff had bathing suits, and the men had also bathing suits. But they were just chilling. Oh no, I think they were chilling in the hot tub.
But there was guys in the.
Yeah, there was a couple guys just chilling in the cold one. But yeah, I'm gonna sign up. I gotta quit LA Fitness and sign up. Thing just flipped bullish in a second. The sauna was broken. So we couldn't do sauna first and then cold plunge. That's why I went to the cold plunge. And I said, fuck it, I'll go in my underwear. If it's like a one for the men and shit like that, there's no problem with that. But then I saw a woman there in a bikini and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna be in my underwear next to you. We're just gonna continue making all-time highs today. We made all-time highs New York. We made all-time highs Asian. We made all-time highs London. We made all-time highs New York again. And then we just made all-time highs Asian. When are we gonna pull the fuck back? This looked like it was so perfect on the hourly to flip bearish and pull back. Give us a nice pull backula. Just had a bullish 5-minute closure. No top wick. We're coming up to create a top wick first. We're at this level of interest here. I'll let sell stop if this 1 minute flips. And they say space is fake, bro. How can you fake that, bro? Not even in the falling spaceship. You can only get zero gravity for like 2 seconds. They were in there for 9 months, bro. The US couldn't get them out for 9 months. Elon Musk asked Biden if he could get them out, and Biden said no. I'll take a here. I'm not expecting it to pull back. I'm just seeing if we can get a pullback and I can close. But the way that this is moving, looks like we might re-break the daily high again. So this is what I'm going to do for stops. If the daily re-breaks the high, I'm going to wait for a resistance to be formed on the 1 minute time frame, and then I'll set my stop loss there. So we're gonna, this is where the entry was. And then an entry down here. Yeah, it doesn't make sense why it's just continuing to make highs, but if this is something that gold's going to continue doing, then I'm not going to really bother trading it so much. I'm just going to spam buys first thing in the morning, and we're going to make a high New York because we made a high London. This is just most likely going to continue. Last time that we jumped up, our range was 90 pips. This range is 69 pips. So we probably have like 30 more pips to go before it decides to pull back. This is a massive money printer right here though, right? Massive money printer. If this 5 flips bearish, we're gonna plummet down. Okie dokie, we just broke the highs. This is my third pineapple, and that's probably my last pineapple. So let's see what we do here. might see another pop. Where would I take another entry? I wouldn't be taking any sell entries all the way up here anymore besides to mitigate risk. If we start to come down to these levels, I still wouldn't be taking any more entries. So this 5 just opened up, closed above. Now we're driving down. This one has no bottom wick. These are just 5-minute closures. No higher time frame closure has really closed. I think we're good here.
Bro, did anybody see that?
No, I don't think I got what you got. What happened? Did it bounce up or down?
What the?
I'm closing there for 12 pips. Could continue dropping down, but none of these are my entry types. I don't have another. So if I was getting my entry types for on a continuation down here, then yes, I would be holding the trade. All positions in profit I would be holding continually. But I'm not getting my setup here. Like, this isn't even a trend line breakout. There's no supports being formed here to create a trend, right? It's just bouncing up, driving straight up.
Yeah, great job, everybody. That was absolutely insane. Did
Yeah.
anyone see that drop that came back up like it was half a second?
12 pips out of that.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
It was 4 pips across 3 entries.
Wow, good for you, man. Yeah, I closed the I got my profit of like $6. What is that?
So if this were to happen, right, on this push up here, if we were to get this same thing that we got here, now we have more indication that we were going to sell. So I would have probably taken another pineapple on the break below here. Why? Because we made a high. We tried to re-break the high, failed, tried to re-break the high, failed, made some we consolidated a little bit, and then now we broke the low. But here, how we just rejected off of this high quickly like that, that's why I didn't think that this was going to give us much of a push. So I waited until I was break even, and then I saw we were still coming down, and then I saw this level on gold, and gold is very technical. I saw this level on gold, and I said, okay, bet, I'm going to close my trade as soon as we get to this level. And once we did, we got to this level with 4 pips in profit, I closed. Like maybe taking a resell, a sell here on the break of the low is not bad. If we had a top wick here on the 5. If we had a top wick like this, maybe a top wick like this high, that would be a clean sell. But considering what it just did, I'm going to chill out. And the 30-minute just closed. Yeah, man, this could just be the bottom wick for the flip. I didn't see the jitter movement at all. My camera's glitching. Bam! We did some arms today. We fucking killed it. If we get a big push, I'll maybe have a buy stop here. This is usually what we do for all-time highs, right? This or vice versa, where you'll have the high and then try to break the high and failure. Or this, a liquidity grab above the highs and then a continuation down. So that's usually what you see when price is trying to come down. So maybe the flip here might not give us what we want. And it might just continue down after this. Let's see. Let's be patient. It's all good, bro. Minus 2 pips. Minus 2 pips annoys me more than a break even or than taking a loss, bro. When I see minus 2 pips, I'm like, you fucking bitch. Now my next trade is going to be an 8 pip winner, not a 10 pip winner. But you just got to get rid of that mentality, bro. Well, at least I have to get rid of that mentality. And stop being so greedy and learn to be more. Oh, hell yeah. I caught 150 pips today. So, I took a 250 pip loss. Then I took another 123 pip loss by opening the wrong position. I made back this plus 20 pips. So now I'm down 210 pips today. But I just made back 12. So now I'm down 198. Nasdaq and gold. So, I had buys here on gold. I had buys here on gold, and on the Nasdaq I had buys here on this breakout. and then price continued. So I closed out like 50 pips on this first pullback, somewhere around here. Yeah, because my buy stop was above these highs. So I closed off like 50 pips on this first candle here. Yeah, 44 pips. I am down on Nvidia. I need Nvidia to go up. So on the 4-hour, this is what I was looking at on Nvidia. Nvidia came down, downtrend. We broke the downtrend. We started coming back up. We closed into this range. We created a range 1, and now we're reattempting to fill range 1. If we get a closure above range 1 into range 2 is clean traffic all the way up to here to 135, which is my target. But I have an alarm at 129, which is what I'm looking at for my options call. If we hit 129 anytime this week, we've already filled the wick here, filled the range. So all we need to do is come up another $6 anytime this week, and you're about to see right now. Robin Hoodski. Why does this thing keep popping up and doesn't go away? Every time I click on it, it just stays. This is why I like options. If you trade Forex and you're trading here, you should probably be looking into like some side options just to throw in a couple like 20, 30, 40 bucks. I put in 90 bucks, 2 calls, and simulate returns. If we hit 130, I make 150 bucks off 90 bucks. If we hit 140, or 150, which is my target, I make 1,400 bucks off 90 bucks. Insane, Machi. This consolidation now makes more sense now for a continuation down. $30-minute flip. 30 minutes still has no top wick. 15-minute has no top wick. 5-minute did come up and try to grab a top wick. We now have a minor 5-minute support here. We flipped with some strong momentum. Let's see if we can get a closure below, pullback, and then a re-break of that low. And then we can take some sells to fill this wick here and possibly the rest of the range. What does the 3-minute look like? Yeah, I'm gonna have a sell stop here. We have nice trend. I'm gonna reattempt that sell in a little bit earlier of an area. This is where we entered earlier. Spreads are high. I have 2 ticks of spreads. Usually it's 1. What I like to see. Let's get a push. Once we re-break this low here, I'll go break even. I think that once we re-break that low, that price is gonna likely fly. And there it goes. We have filled. I'm gonna go break even there. My spreads are a little high there. It's a little annoying. Not high, but 2 pips is a lot for me. We can't pull back here. We have to break through. If we do pull back and it's not a steep pullback and then it re-breaks that low again, then I'll try to re-enter. It was a sort of a money printer pullback here, but we came up, tapped these highs. So let's see if we can flip bearish again, or are we going to continue flipping bullish now? I'm still interested in more sells. This is just so much chop, right? I'm going to delete this and I'm going to wait. I want to wait till we break out of this area here, or reject it and start coming back up. If we do reject it and start coming back up, taking buys is easier. We have cleaner range. Look at all this chop. How many pips to the bottom of the range here? 10 pips before all this support. Yeah, if I would have saw 10 for like 1-2 seconds, I would have taken it, but the most that I saw there was 7. Seven, you peasant. I'm still looking for sells. Wake up.
That I was thinking about how I was gonna flex behind you.
I'm 95% profit factor on the FTMO channel and only for Asia session. Bro, yeah, my Asian session, I'm at a 90% win rate, and it's my New York fuck-ups that get me. We already rated the highs, grabbed liquidity, came back down twice, and now we're coming back to the highs. That 15-minute closed bearish. We barely have a bottom wick. We're coming up to grab a top wick for a candle that has no top wick. So could this top wick rejection be where we sell off from for the continuation down? What up, Loss? The big boss. How many pips to the highs here? Only 17 pips. If we come up and tap this white level, I might have a wick entry. Let's see how it does. Because this is a minor break. Yeah, I'm going to attempt to sell off this level. I'm going to go break even there. I'm actually going to close there at 10 pips. That was a beautiful wick entry. Holy shit. That is a break even. 12, 10, 22 pips for the session. That was the wickest of the wickest entries. Holy shit. The wind and rain is crazy. Yes, it is very bad over here too. A lot of customers on Uber Eats, and it's nice for me to... Yes, bro, yes. Make that fucking money. So... today I was complaining that I was like, fuck, man. I gotta go do this job. I gotta go do this customer in this dirty ass place that fucking smells. And then I look around and I'm like, it just smells because there's pigeons up on the roof. I was judging the place early as fuck. And then the guy was cool as fuck. He paid cash and then he asked for an even bigger job. And I'm like, holy shit, this customer's money. You take care of someone. And I was like, you know what, let me just fucking get her done. Before FOMC, I got it done. I was able to go home for FOMC. I finished the rest after. Who took that trade with me? Who took that wick entry trade? I took those sales with you. Fucking savage. Yes. Yes, I do agree that was too fast. If there was any second that I hesitated on there and it wicked back, I would have been like, fuck, I knew that was gonna do that. And I've decided to just take everything that I think and stop worrying about drawdown. If I get into drawdown, I can manage risk and get out like I always do. A 1 second trade. Yeah, bro. If you scroll back, it was like a 3 or 4 second total trade. I gotta get a new camera, a new professional camera. This Walmart camera is acting up. Can you go see what the hell my dog's doing? He humping?
Over here, gay. It's very joyful.
I don't want to take sales past this level. See how we have no top wick here? This could be the bottom wick for the flip bullish, right? I want to get the fuck out of all these ranges. Once we get out of all these ranges, or maybe, worst case, boom, boom, and then a re-break. That re-break should give us, I don't know, 10 pips before a reversal. Well, as you can see, we're back break even on the first entry. This one isn't crazy profit. This break even one, this one would have been back at 8 pips of profit if it didn't stop us out break even. And this one was the best entry for 25 pips total push down. All those closes were spectacular. What is going on here? Yep, what did I say? Bottom wick for a flip bullish. A lot of people start tuning in a little bit later. So one of these days, I'm going to plan a London session stream. So I'm going to get on around like 11 and then trade till like 1. 11, 12, 1, yeah, like 3 hours till like 1, 1:30. I'll get home and just straight nap. Look at this, bro. Look at this price action we had at 1 a.m., 1:30, 2 in the morning. So let's say I got on, I got 11. At 11, I would be catching the push up. 1 in the morning, I would be catching buy stops on the rebreak of the daily highs for pushes up here. And then a rejection sell on the way down there somewhere. Possible entries. This looks like really good entries. Ooh, it's gonna be 3.
Do it again, you a bitch.
London's get some good moves. So let's see the last London. Look, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 11, push up. 1 in the morning, push down. Asian session was just chop. The largest candle in Asian was 54 pips. The largest candle in London was 75 pips. We had good volume here during Asian. Push, push, and then London, it was actually less volume. And it pushed at 4:30 in the morning. We got the breakout, the retest of that breakout at 9:30, and the continuation. This is something to look at. Your 6 a.m. breakout in the morning and your 9 a.m. breakout, if you're tapping the same level, send it. What are we gonna do here? That's pretty decent. This is where the volume is gonna come in. People are getting swatted on Twitter. Any Republican person that tweets and that's famous, people are getting doxxed and they're calling the SWAT team on their house. It's happened to 3 of them. That's the what's the crazy part about being Republican now. Now people are causing harm to your shit. You have a Tesla, people are gonna start scratching up your Tesla. The Tesla dealerships are catching fire because people are throwing fire, are committing arson. You can't even have political opinions anymore without people destroying your shit and getting the cops called on your house now. Where before they're like, oh, just let us live. Well, now we're gonna call all the cops on you and fucking destroy your lives. Insane. What can you do? You make sure you stay strapped. You make sure you're legal. You make sure you got a lot of rounds. Shit's about to be a decade old. I gotta do a Spartan race. Yo, have you guys ever done a Spartan race? That's my 2017 medal, and the medal behind it is my 2019 medal. The Tough Mudder is similar, but it's more for people that are sus. I'm just kidding, bro. In Florida with the Florida heat, it's a bitch, bro. You think the Las Vegas heat? You walk outside in Las Vegas, it's a dry heat. You put on a little long sleeve shirt and a little hat where the sun's not touching your skin. The breeze hits you and you're fine. In Florida, oh my God, look at this. That's the 9 o'clock open. What did we do on gold here? We're not breaking all-time highs here on gold. We did come down for that bottom wick. Holy crap, we gapped up here. I might have a buy stop. If we break, that shit's gonna fly. Oh, that wicked me in. Oh, I don't like that at all. Here, it's not as good as it is here. It's so much nicer here. DD simulator, right? It's all good. Once this comes up and re-breaks the high, I'm going to continue to hold. That's going to be a massive push. Let's see. Performance structure on the way up. So we closed bullish. We closed respecting here on the first 5-minute candle above. This 5-minute closed bullish back up into this range. We're coming down for a bottom wick. Let's see. My dog is going ham back there. I don't like that. Holy shit, that dump. Holy fuck. Are we gonna come down to the daily lows here? I'm gonna take a pineapple here. What a dump. Yep, just watching price action. I'm gonna take another entry here. I closed their break even. I gave it a shot. I have too many levels here. There it goes. That's the shot that I was looking for. That's the 5 pips across 3 positions, 15 pips. But it's all good. Manage risk, and we got out in profits. I'm not sure about the rebreak of the high anymore. Look at that big ass dump rejection off the break of the highs. Was it to grab more liquidity before coming up? But what liquidity did we grab? We just whipped down into these weak ass levels. We didn't even break a daily low. We didn't get a wick from a higher time frame structure. It was just these little weak ass structures. I think that we're getting faked out on every time frame here. So I think I'm gonna sit out and just give it some time. Marcus said y'all only have drawdown tonight. Yeah, but guess what? We got out of every single trade in drawdown or in profit, and we're still up 22 pips for the night. Yeah, get the fuck out of here, gold, right? This level here should have been a hodl. I wasn't too sure about this level here, especially how I took a wick entry off of it. If this flips and breaks the high, that's still valid for an entry, but I'm not trying it. Gold can suck my nuts. $59 pips, dog. That's how I know gold's doing some fuckery, because you're usually up around 1,000 pips. That's how I know gold is doing some fuckery tonight. For everybody. All the entries were decent. pineapples were better, and it was just ranging. So because of the fact that it's just been bouncing back and forth, we should have been able to hold all the pineapples. I just wasn't able to recognize that we were ranging and failing to break out. Failure to break out, 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 failure. So since we failed to break out again, I could have anticipated, I could have probably been paying more attention, noticing that we were ranging, and that I could have just held because we were most likely going to come back up to the next resistance. And that was the 15-minute closure. The 15 closed bullish. This 15 came down and formed the bottom wick. And now we're starting to pop up. This is officially a breakout. This is gone. This is gone, gone, gone. Closed full now, you fucking savage. Last week doesn't have a bottom wick. This week doesn't have a bottom wick. What time is Asian session? Right now. Alrighty, I'm gonna have a buy stop here. Are we gonna be drawdown gang again, or are we gonna get the official breakout tonight? Oh, bro, I'm gonna show you a screen recording earlier. I got slipped on gold 16 pips. It drove 20 more pips. It pulled back, tapped my break even, and then continued to drive. So I was up 42 pips on the trade technically, but it slipped me so bad. Gold is a monster, and it does whatever the hell it wants. I can only get in when my opportunity presents itself. And So far, every trade tonight has given a DD, and we just had the money printer set up to an all-time high level. You just have to use everything you've practiced for, right? All the patience, all the discipline, all the risk management skills, all have to come into play when you're in drawdown. That's what they're for. Your entry types are to minimize you having to manage risk. I'm gonna pineapple here. Hey, how are you? Came in at a bad time when we're in drawdown. Yeah, it depends what happens, how long it takes. See if we can get a flip bullish on this 5-minute. On my end, I don't have anything. I have a gap up. Yeah, it should push. That's what I'm also thinking right now. I'm looking at all the possible scenarios, and I'm thinking that once we flip, man, this thing should push. Based off from what I've seen before. $30-minute closure coming up. Are we going back in range? We're kind of bullish still. We might see a little more DD before our next push up. That's ugly. 30 close bullish. We're coming up for a top wick first. 15 close bearish. We're not back into previous range. Damn, this candle came all the way down here before flipping bullish. This candle came all the way down here before flipping bullish. Are we going to see a massive drop all the way down there as well before flipping bullish? Yeah, we broke all the lows here. And then rebroke the highs. And then rebroke the highs. And we're now coming back down. We're likely going to see the bottom of the range here. Yeah, Jay, I agree. I'm gonna have a buy stop here. If this wants to flip, we should get a push really hard. Commander J, let's hope the markets hear you and put us in Prafuskis.
I went to CBS. Still hasn't noticed. They still hasn't noticed. Oh, you didn't hear him. When he when he first came into the room, he's like, I was grabbing your tampons, and then some guy was like, "Are those for you?"
Yeah, my patience is being hella tested tonight. By the time that profit happens, it's already the end of the session, so I would agree with you. I agree. And all that's going through my head is my plan, market structure, candles, the movement, and not thinking about profit or loss, just thinking about where the possible closures could be, thinking about where the possible break even could be, thinking if it is a break even or if it is a profit. So this is all the stuff that's going through my head rather than feeling the dreadful sorrow of the drawdown, because you know you feel it. I also feel it. We all feel it. All you have to do is stick to your plan and keep trading 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 and keep trading. That's all that we can do. These candles are starting to move here. What direction are they going to go? Yeah, I'm gonna have my stop loss. I'm not letting it go all the way down to those lows. I'm just gonna let it close out at the bottom of these lows. If we do break down below these levels, that's where I'm gonna have my stop loss at, which would be 90 pips. 15-minute flipped bearish, the 30-minute flipped bearish. This is just a very strong level of support here where we have to flip bullish on. We can't just continue to break down below. And then from 24.90 minus 24, I don't even know how much that is, 66 pips. Yeah, this was the idea, right? The rebreak of the high. We got a 5-minute pullback to the previous resistance, where this could have been the wick, the bottom wick for the 5-minute. So this is where we took a pineapple, and then we had a consolidation here, and then a closure above, retest of the low, and then a rebreak of the high. So those were the ideas behind all of the entries, and those were all entries that I would have taken regardless. But this is, yeah, I don't think I want to hold any longer than now. You might reject off of this low here, but to hold possibly 150 pips of drawdown, I would prefer this money printer to play out. Oh. Yeah, I'm happy with taking that loss. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is a strong level, so the probability is still decent. Yeah, but see what I was saying, how all these wicks came all the way down here? Yeah. That's 80 pips. Yeah, I could pull back. I'm not interested. Yeah, no, that's why I closed. That was my maximum amount of pineapples. Yeah, I closed. Yeah, I lost minus 1/3%.
Chris is on here. Tell him we support him in his LBGTQTS, whatever he wants to be.
Now ask yourself, was this extra drawdown something you're willing to take? If it is something you're willing to take, you can continue to hold. As far as me, I need to just grind my way back out of drawdown and not worry about it. My last streak was 1,000 pips basically before I took a loss. Am I willing to hold $150 pips of drawdown? No. I need to rather just take the L and work on getting a better entry. Yeah, we're back in range. Maybe the pineapples would have worked out taking more entries. Maybe this comes all the way back up to the highs again. that wasn't the entry. If this does come back, what does it say? It says that the best entry was here. The second best entry was here at 35. And then it came all the way up here to 20, putting us down. The best ideal was probably closing at minus 1 or 2 pips negative and then taking a re-entry. Or if you can hold all this drawdown, you could have taken all these pineapples. We're back in range, bro. We're probably going to see it come back to the top of the range. Right? We respected this high, which is where our level was. And we most likely will respect this high, which will still not take us to break even before coming back down. Now we have a perfect double top here. This is literally easy sells. So let's see what happens here. Here, put this in the bag. The only thing that I will tell you is that on my evaluation, I've been trading it on my phone in the background, taking the opposite positions of every entry that I've taken every time I go in fucking drawdown. And I was down 5K on the evaluation, and I brought it back up to break even. Isn't that funny? I do think we dumped though, bro. How many daily bottom? I appreciate you, Santos. Thank you for showing up, bro. I promise you, this little losing streak, not losing streak, I'm not gonna call it a losing streak, but this little losing spell that I've been on for the last week, bro, it came after a fucking 30 to 40 win streak. I haven't calculated how many of those 40 wins were, out of those 40 trades were break evens, but insane streak, bro. And I'm letting you know that I'm studying and we're getting on the train. The train is, we're already on. So I was reading this book, right? And the book was talking about how even if you have a 90% win rate, probability states that eventually you're going to hit a 5 to 6 losing streak. And you have to be able to withstand that losing streak and not have it blow your account when you have such a high win rate. So it's just probability. That's all it is, probability. So the probability states the next course of action is a 1,000,000 win streak. Bad juju. I don't believe in none of that juju shit exists. It's all probability. If you take 6 losing trades in a row, but you have a high win rate, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Is my analysis? What the hell is going on? No, that's probability. If you go back onto a win streak, it's probability. But if you don't continue to win at all right, you gotta look back at your fucking, at your shit to see what's going on. Yes, bro. An extra 40 pips across 3 positions, 120 pips extra saved of drawdown. My camera on Zoom shut off. It hasn't been on the whole night. Yeah, don't forget to drop a like, chat. The way we've been managing risk. Yes, bro. Don't worry, bro. Lock in the work life. Come to the charts and lock in the charts. And I promise you, things will turn out all right. The thing is that the majority of people fail, I believe, because they don't have the right education. And then once they get the right education, those kind of people don't have somebody to mentor them on the mentality. So you need someone older than you, someone with more experience than you, to be able to help mentor you on the psychology aspect of everything. So that you can then put into practice what you learned. That's why I think the majority of people fail. If the majority of people had the proper education along with the proper psychology at the same time, the success rate of Forex would be more like 40% instead of 5%. %40 is the same success rate as college. 60% of people fail college and don't use their degree. I appreciate you for showing up, bro. Losses happen. It is what it is. We're going to get this back, and we're going to grind all the way back. And what happened? We closed right here, and this drove an extra 40 pips. We tried the best that we could to get out, and I'll reiterate it again, right? We took the breakout of all-time highs. That failed. We took the bottom wick of the 5-minute candle, that the 5-minute came here with no top wick. We took the bottom wick entry of the 5-minute on the previous support. We took a wick entry here, hoping the 5-minute flip would get us up to the top of the range so we can close out both positions in profit. That failed, this failed, and then price consolidated here, giving us a support. We have a range 1 closure above this level here. We're bullish for the day, so we don't need more than a range 1 when we're bullish. So once price came back to retest this area, I had a buy stop on the break of this 1-minute range high. So since we're bullish, we don't need more than a range 1 for a bullish breakout. So we took all of our setups within this range, and it just failed. So what do we have to do? Is get the fuck out of the trade. And the sell that you said, Drizz, at 9:07, I know the exact time you said it. Did you pineapple in? Yeah, so this is the 300K. This is the night on the 300K. I was shorting here, shorting, closed here, and then I shorted here, closed here, I bought here, and then I shorted here again and closed here. So the daily's flipping bearish. Our previous daily does have a bottom wick, but we don't have a bottom wick for the weekly. On our 4-hour level, we don't have a bottom wick on the 4-hour, and we're coming down for this 4-hour. You could have a push to this previous resistance, which would give us 59 pips to the next support. So we have to really confirm that we're coming down here. 2 minutes. We're closing below all these ranges that I said we really needed to break out. Have a good night, everybody. So we made 80 pips last stream, and then we lost 90 pips tonight. 80. Sorry, 90, and then we made 24. So what's 90 plus minus 24? 66. So we basically broke even from last week's stream. From Thursday last week. I still don't remember if I had 60 or 80. I know I had 60 on the Nasdaq, and then I think I had 20 or 10 on gold. Well, that's it for me, gang. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. This 1 hour could give us a nice, beautiful top wick before a continuation back to the downside. I am hoping that we come all the way back down 200 pips here. So, have a good night, everybody. See you guys tomorrow. Drop a like, please. I appreciate you for showing up.